Hi, welcome to Movie Review Mom. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me while I talk about movies. And the movie I'm reviewing today is called Finding You. This cute rom-com premieres on Amazon Prime on July 26th, 2021. To get a free 30-day trial of Amazon Prime, click down below and you can watch this movie for free as well as a bunch of other movies. I love Amazon. All right, so the movie is rated PG. It's an hour and 59 minutes, and I'll give you my movie review mom grade at the end of my review just to keep you watching. So first of all, the summary of the movie or the story is that violinist Finlay Sinclair travels to an Irish coastal village to begin her semester studying abroad. At the B&B, that's bread and breakfast, run by her host family, she encounters the gregarious and persistent heartthrob movie star Beckett Rush. Doesn't that sound like a movie star's name? And they're both kind of Irish sounding names too, because the whole movie takes place in Ireland. Violinists will love this dramatic romance based on the book called There You'll Find Me by Jenny B. Jones. The charming movie by Lionsgate and Roadside Attractions is directed by Brian Bowe. So let me tell you about the things I liked, then I didn't like, and I'll offer tips for parents, themes worth talking about, and even recommendations for other movies that I think that you'll like that are sort of similar. All right, so the list of things that I liked begins with we get to go to Ireland. Yay! My husband and I were supposed to go to Ireland back in 2020 when the pandemic first started. So, of course, we had to cancel our trip. We tried it again 2021. We were supposed to go in the spring, canceled it again because international borders are still closed. So, both my husband and I have some Irish heritage. So we were really looking forward to the first time ever going to the motherland, going to Ireland. So while we're waiting for international borders to open, we've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, an online course about Ireland, and reading as much as we can about it. You'll really get a taste of this magical country in the movie, and I love that. You also get to hear some fun Irish music because the protagonist is a violinist. So it features those pubs where musicians gather. And I don't drink alcohol, but I'm super excited to actually check out the Irish pub scene where people in the neighborhood gather together and have a pint and play music spontaneously. I love that. One of the items on my bucket list that's been on my bucket list for years is not to just go to Ireland, but to sing with drunken Irishmen in a pub. I'm not kidding. That's what my bucket list is. I mean, I want to see all this stuff in Ireland too. But I really love how movies portray that neighborhood pub spirit. And I hope that they're really like that. From what I've seen in videos, travel videos and stuff like that, it really is like that. So the male protagonist is played by Jedediah Goodacre. And yes, that's actually his real name. I'd never seen him in anything before, even though he's been in Legacies and Adventures of Sabrina. I hadn't seen either one of those things. So in this movie, he plays an actor in a dragon slayer movie that kind of looks like a Game of Thrones type of show, which is kind of fun because part of Game of Thrones, the popular TV show, was actually filmed in Ireland, also in Croatia, but part of it was in Ireland. So anyway, that's super cool. And I really got a kick out of learning about him as an actor. The lovely Rose Reed plays Finlay Sinclair, a college student who goes to Ireland on her study abroad trip. So when I was in college, I actually did do a study abroad semester in Spain and absolutely fell in love with that country. That's when I really got hooked on travel because I got to tour many of the European countries over there. And I returned to Spain to live for another year and a half after that trip. And so Spain will always be a big part of my life. Travel really can be life changing. And in this movie, that's evidenced by this life changing experience that that both of the male and the female have. the leading man and the leading women have in the story. I even ended up getting a degree in international relations because of my travels abroad. So fun fact, Rose Reed knew how to play the violin before doing the movie, but she definitely had to refine her skills for this role because she's more of a professional. Catherine McNamara looks like a young movie star in her role as a young movie star. And I had never seen her in anything before either. Fun fact number 2, Tom Everett Scott played a character named Shades in the super cute and fun movie That Thing You Do by Tom Hanks. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but you should definitely watch that movie. So when we see his character in this movie, he's wearing shades the very first time. So it's really great to see him again. I just really like him, probably because I really liked the character that he played in that movie. And that was the first time I had seen him in anything. Anyway, I love the dad. He's not a foster dad. He's the host, study abroad host father, and he's baking, and he wears this apron that says, "Real men make flaky pie crust." And he is kind of a cute side character. So if you enjoy watching dramatic romances on the Hallmark Channel in particular, then this movie is right up your alley. I was worried that the movie would be super shallow and cheesy and corny after watching Act 1, but it actually deepens as it builds. Now, don't get me wrong, it's still super cheesy and corny and predictable, but it was good. I enjoyed it. However, there were some things that I didn't like. There is a lot of wooden dialogue and bad acting moments. And I don't know if it's the actors or if it was just a real wooden, stiff script that the actors had to, work with. It's hard to tell if it's the directing or the writing. Anyway, the movie, as I mentioned, is super duper predictable. There are some super tired, cliched relationships, the kind where there are two characters and one of them doesn't like the other one, but then soon they fall in love, that kind of thing. And sometimes it's hard to understand what some people are saying because of their thick Irish accents. Now, overall, I think that the accents are there to give you that flavor, but they're not super, super hardcore traditional where you really don't understand a word that's coming out of their mouth. So that was helpful and I appreciated that. But there were a few times I was like, what? Come again? So some tips for parents are that there is some profanity in Irish, the way that they say a certain word, but there's no American profanity. So it's clean. There's some kissing, there's some talk of abuse, and there's a drunk man who's homeless, but he's very well loved and taken care of by the local villagers. So other than those little things, I think the movie is family friendly and generally clean, although young kids are not going to be interested at all because, it's romance. The themes that were illustrated in the movie are celebrity, being true to who you are, finding inner peace, living a double life, judging others, making your own choices. And here are 2 lines that I think represent themes. This first one is by Finley Sinclair, played by Rose Reed. And she says, "Things aren't always as they seem." And then actually, she also says the second line, she says, "Being here in Ireland has taught me to look deeper." So as you're watching this movie, look deeper, enjoy the gorgeous Irish scenery, look at the archetypes that are illustrated almost like cartoon characters in some ways, where the acting is over exaggerated, but look for the lessons that can be learned. Look deeper. So for more lines, look on my website, moviereviewmom.com, and you can see other lines that I thought were interesting. So with all of that, the movie review mom grade I'm giving it depends on your perspective. If you are looking for a very cheesy, corny love romance, I'm going to give the movie a B. If you're looking for serious plot and development and filmmaking quality, then probably a B minus. So before we go, let me give you a recommendation for another movie that takes place in Ireland and really gives you that Irish feeling, and it's a true story. It recently came out a couple months or so ago. It's called Dream Horse. Some wonderful acting, and again, beautiful Irish landscape and a taste of that culture. All right, that's it for my movie review. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me, and be sure and subscribe and ring that little bell, and it'll notify you every time I upload a new movie review, which is almost every single day. You can also find me on Instagram and on our Facebook group called Movie Review Mom. Have a fantastic day, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.